Hello.
And where are we going?
We're going to Cloudfest.
All right. And how long will it take for us to get there?
50,000 hours. 500 hours.
500 hours. Sounds like a good trip.
Oh, I see. We found our new restaurant over there. Yeah, go ahead. You're on and going up first.
Mm. Mm. They actually had really good coffee in there.
Yeah. For a shitty tent, it's good coffee. So I'm very curious. What will Cloudfest bring us to this year?
Uh, some drinks, some
Something,
good conversations, hopefully some leads.
some leads. So, from IT Insights perspective, what do you think is most innovating at the Cloud Expo this year, Servant? Yeah, let's put you
All
on the
right.
spotlight.
Oh wow, that's a solid question. I guess from IT Intel's perspective, I mean the fact we're expanding up to the Nordics, trying to expand our market a little bit. Is a new innovation which I'm going to try to take care of, and hopefully that will bring us a lot of success. What do you think about our Nordic
Yeah,
expansion?
yeah. You fucking broke it. You are a unbelievable Mormon.
So how do you use this thing?
Yeah. You can,
There you go. There you go.
Oh my God! Now at Link, yeah, they need to do at Microsoft and Google. They need to bleep away all the swearing words. Now the monkeys in Redmond and Seattle, they need to do that. Oh my God! Marco and Pretty Boy did some swearing.
Don't worry, it's gonna be implemented soon, I'm sure.
Ah, yeah, it's probably somebody else AI. Oh. Well, I think, from my point of view, and my point of view is not really relevant for people until they understand, hey, he's fucking relevant. But it takes a couple of years before they finally see the light. That's no problem. That's their problem.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of the the companies uh, at Cloudfest will be, yeah, they will say AI this, AI that. So if you don't put AI in your brand name or your logo or your business proposition, you are not really being seen serious. And that's funny because I think 10 years ago, 15 years ago, oh my God, I'm so old. 15 years ago, when I spoke to people about cloud computing, they really were thinking, what are you talking about? 15 years ago? 20 years ago? No,
What did you start selling cloud computing?
yeah,
20
2006, 2005.
Oh wow.
So in 2005,
You are old man.
yeah, I am an old man.
Can't believe I'm older.
Yeah, but you're not wiser. You might be older. Yeah, you die sooner than me. But
Well,
you're in contrary to the to real old people. You're not wiser.
well, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna.
But you're more funnier. That's for sure.
Maybe, yeah. So you were trying to make a real point, I think.
No. Yeah. So since, let's say, the first thing we started with virtualization was 2004 with KVM and Xen. Well, we started with Xen server, and because there was a company from Seattle, an e-commerce company, who adopted that as a solution as well. Xen, the company was named Amazon, and it was very happy for our friends Allison's because they own Xen, of course, because it's a substitute of Oracle somehow in a license form.
Yeah.
So that's for sure very interesting how they did it. But that time we had just a thing, just a simple virtualization server. That's it.
Right, right.
And I think that things uh, as security and etc. was always on the radar, but people didn't understand it. And then in 2008, we touched basically virtualization orchestration,
Yeah,
so that you really had the ability to orchestrate your workloads. And that was the first thing that you really saw the in basically the outskirts of not the outskirts but contours of infrastructure as a service.
right, right, right. So virtualization was the key, which makes sense.
Yeah, but it was still focused on CPU uh, and not really uh, just physical CPUs. So
Hmm.
there were no virtual CPUs. You had hyper-threading, which was one of the things they had, but that's it. That's it. There was nothing more than that in that space.
Right. So what does that have to do with the current trend of AI?
Well, what you see is that AI on its own is basically compute power in a chipset, which is in similarity similar to how cloud computing was. It was also basically compute code in a chipset.
Right.
Until the moment that companies like Microsoft and VMware saw it as an additional business model to basically license the amount of cores in a CPU, the first cloud computing instances were not measured by cycles or by cores or etc. It was simply, oh, you have hardware. Okay, how many cores? Oh, we have two CPUs. Octa-core was not even invented then. So you had basically Intel Xeon services
Mm.
and a bunch of hardware in the form of a NFS. That's it. And in the last 20 years, a lot of innovation has been developed, of course. But if I was explaining to people in 2007, 2008 about cloud computing, of course, you had a couple of those bozos who said it's just somebody else's computer, which is technically true. Um, that they are not wrong in it. They're not right either in it as well, but they are not wrong in it also. But nowadays, you see that the volume is evolved massively.
Of course.
And with the current AI, you see that yeah, if I see the next generation, um, then they are doing prompting, but more stupidity prompting, and they are amazed about the fact that they can use AI models at their fingertips, but it's not innovating enough. So when you first did cloud computing or in PC computing, etc., or using Commodore or any type of services at all, you really were amazed about the fact that you could build something which could run on a tape and then play a game. And then when you are using cloud computing, it was really amazed that in 2008 you could deploy a 2008 server with at least at our company in under 20 minutes, which was a massive improvement compared to installing, let's say, a day 4 on the server, which took a day or two.
That's a huge difference.
And nowadays, here, if you now calculate, let's say, and you give a prompt to Gemini or to Claude, code me this program, it will take, well, less than an hour to build something.
Yeah, that's interesting. I also seen just recently though, like large companies, they had like kind of a lot of code that was built with AI, and they had to like rip everything out. So I think there's still challenges with AI code.
What you see is that you need to avoid it's gonna hallucinate. Just like people, when they see anything, um, a guy is taking a photo from his highway, and he's not from the police. So either he's a former police guy or he's just stupid. They want to top you.
A drop share, of course I do. Of course I do. Thank you. It's very Dutch thing. Thank you.
It's good fact, right?
But yeah, but I mean, I basically heard that, you know, they can stop the hallucination immediately, but then you just get an answer that they can't give you an answer. And since they don't want to have a model that tells you they don't know the answer one third of the time, they prefer to hallucinate.
Mm, well, basically AI, just to repeat the same dumb dumb sense people were saying it's for cloud, it's just somebody else's computer.
Mm.
AI is similar, just like statistics. Technically, it's true, but in practical form, it's amazing what you can do with it. The problem is that here, my name is Marco, your name is Servant, and and the reason that somebody next to us is probably between the M and the S in a name, Peter, as an example. That's something you can predict. So if you make up a story, then that's the most common thing, or the most obvious things that people are going to use as an argument. So no, it's B towards X towards Y.
Sure.
I think the problem is that as soon you are not memorizing your AI models, it will hallucinate.
Yeah, but I think actually conscious it's a conscious choice by the companies because they prefer to give you hallucinating answers than just a prompt that will tell you can't give you an answer.
Yeah, because there is no right and no wrong in the answer. Let's say if you ask now a prompt, what's the color of air, or which color does the sky has? Every human being will say it's blue, which is technically not correct. It's black. But what we see is blue due to the reflection of the sun. Therefore, our sky is blue. If you ask the same computer, what is the color of the sky? The computer will say blue, which is technically wrong. But it's right because the majority of the people think it's correct. So the question here is, are all people um, so yeah, Maastricht, yeah, so yeah, I think that's good. Yeah, we're gonna go a road trip to Maastricht
Okay.
because then we can pick up fly. So
What?
fly, do you know what fly is?
No.
It's a typical dessert. It's typical.
Is that Maastricht dessert?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Limburg's fly.
Oh, right.
It's a sort of cake.
Okay.
It's a sidetrack.
Ah, right.
This type of sidetracks is also possible in AI, by the way. The problem is that if you do not proper prompt it in the right order,
Yeah.
then it's going to hallucinate. But if you're using, and that was with the release of Cloud Code 2 weeks ago, you had the ability to do /BTW, by the way, and then you can adapt to multiple threads in your own prompt, which is pretty cool.
Interesting.
So what you see is that even AI is evolving. So
Of course.
to make the resemblance between cloud computing and AI, so when we started in, let's say, 2007 with virtualization, or 2007, 2008, infrastructure as a code or infrastructure as a service. And nowadays, you see that you can steer on IOPS, you can steer on latency, you can steer on GPU power, on energy consumption. You can measure how many density there is in the humidification of the data center. All that type of data is being analyzed to give you a proper answer. Is something you will see in the next 10 to 15 years with AI. Maybe between the next 5 to 8 years. Because if you're following, let's say, Moore's law, and which is basically set for the speed of hardware is halving in price and doubling in capacity. I think that's also applicable with AI. So last year, as an example, you saw a lot of H100 chipsets for AI,
Sure.
which were stacked in the Amazon data centers. They have been replaced for newer versions, and we're just a year further.
I mean, it's true, but we also saw that ChatGPT 0.5 was a big disappointment.
It's depending on what your expectations are.
Well, from the expectations.
Yeah, but from which point of view?
I mean,
from the analyst point of view,
from
from a technical point
well,
of view?
from the promises from the company, and from also what they expected with kind of the amount of money they put into increasing the model, right?
Yeah. So from a financial point of view,
Yes.
not from technical point of view.
Well,
Oh, apparently we're still live.
oh, we are still live.
Oh, we're still live.
Well, good. We didn't say anything stupid.
Except then what we did in the last 20 minutes.
Except that. worry. So you were talking about AI.
So Microsoft's point of view in that case was a very bold and smart move, and I think um, uh, that the real world saw it in November 23. So 3 years ago, and of course expectations on investments or return on investments is always overestimated.
Of course,
You saw it in 2000 with the dot-com that they didn't make any profit at all and still got huge amount of valuations
yes,
because people always are for the short term. But compared to let's say 2000 versus well the credit cards in 2008, which was massively hurting a lot of companies. Currently, you see that a lot of data is now being reused for other purposes as well. So in some sense, it can contribute, but that the market is overheated and that people are having unestimated or
unrealistic expectations.
unrealistic expectations is, I think, for sure one of the main issues.
I think you're right about that. I mean, a lot of companies they try to implement AI instead of hiring people, which haven't really worked out so well so far.
No, and they also were they return to their original uh, blue collar strategies. So they're just hiring people again. But yeah, as an example, when OpenAI, I believe that was OpenAI or Google, one of those companies, they paid a guy 200 million for a 4 year agreement on an employment because he was a very keen guy. But let's be
You don't
fair.
think it was Meta? I think maybe it was Meta.
Mm.
That's the company that's been throwing out money to
Yeah,
AI talent.
so 200 million for a guy,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Yes.
But if you compare that to let's say 60 million for a DJ in Las Vegas per year, people also say it's insane. But yeah, those DJs are making their investments return massively, and
Of course.
that's the same with AI. Some people are making massively amounts of money on getting AI. As an example, our Dutch ASML, all those chipsets need to be designed, and I think that the impact is over there is um, massively.
But but it feels like right now it's mostly the hardware manufacturers that make money on AI.
Yeah. So, but hardware is also where hardware on its own also has a contribution to economies itself. So it's a more spread apart. Similarly, so let's say Apple as an example. Apple is a 4,000 trillion billion zillion company.
Hmm.
It's massively rich because yeah, they use Chinese sweatshops to make all those shiny phones, which is from a business point of view a very smart move. From a human point of view, not the best. But okay, it's not